This is Land of Havilah, Psalm 121. It's 8 verses. In verse 1, it's another song of ascents, which means a song of going to a higher place. It's easy to understand. Verse 1, a song of ascents. I will lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from Yahweh, who made heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is your keeper. Yahweh is your shade on your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh will keep you from all evil. He will keep your soul. Yahweh will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forward and forevermore. Comment in verse 1, I'll lift up my eyes to the hills. Then the question, where does my help come from? In verse 2, the help's not from the hills, it's from Yahweh who made heaven and earth. Since he made heaven and earth, he has the power to help us. In verse 3, he'll not allow your foot to be moved. Is anyone worried he'll be too weak to live the Christian life? Don't worry, God will not allow your foot to be moved. He'll maintain you strong in your position. The enemy will not be able to push you off your ground unless you retreat. So stand firm, 1 Thessalonians 3:8. In verse 5, Yahweh is your shade on your right hand. We've got it made in the shade. In verse 7, Yahweh will keep you from all evil. Nothing bad will happen that he doesn't redeem it. He'll restore every loss better than it was before. In verse 8, he'll keep your going out and your coming in, which means he's got you covered coming and going. If an investor had put money in the stock market 50 years ago and somehow he knew for certain he would live a long time and somehow he knew his money would grow over that time, he wouldn't worry about the dips. The dips would be meaningless because he knew the end. That's the way it is for us. We know we'll live eternally, so we don't worry about any losses along the way. We'll come out with a big profit. God told Abraham, I'm your exceedingly great reward, Genesis 15:1. This psalm has a lot of absolute statements in it that nothing will harm us, we'll suffer no loss, that everything will be smooth because God's protecting us, and so forth. The reader will tend to scoff at this, but let's not. Going all the way back to the first psalm, Psalm 1, verse 1, we had our instructions for reading the rest of the psalms, quote, don't sit in the seat of the scoffer, end quote. Let's not take anything away from God that he'll protect us and keep us. Jesus said, quote, not a hair of your head will perish, end quote. A lot of your narrator's hairs have perished, especially right on top, but I have faith I'll get them back, and so every loss will be restored. Psalm 122 is next.